So here we are in Winchester. It's Wednesday, July 17th, and we're going to start our journey on the South Downs Way. And this is Winchester Cathedral here behind me. And this cathedral's been here for 1,000 years nearly, and used to be a pilgrimage site. And so we're making our pilgrimage here before we start our journey on this beautiful, bright summer's day. Okay, so we've hiked up out of Winchester, and we are now at sort of the official wooded start of the South Downs Way. Here's a symbol for it. It's a little acorn on a little blue background, and it says Eastbourne 99 miles. So we'll do 99 miles. Okay, so we just actually crossed the motorway, so that's the noise in the background, over a bridge. We didn't have to dodge traffic. And we've come to our first gate on the trail, and there's all kinds of interesting gates on these English footpaths. And this one is a kissing gate. It's actually a metal kissing gate, and you kind of go in like this, go like that, and back the other side, like here, and it's supposed to keep the animals on one side and the people on the other. So we've hiked up Telegraph Hill. This is a hill that was used to send signals from the coast up to London. Men would stand on the top of hills and wave flags to send signals all the way to London, which is probably, I don't know, 100 miles from here, 100 miles north. So we have a view over the countryside. You can see Winchester way in the background there. And so that's the distance we've hiked so far. It's a warm day. We're thankful we trained in Atlanta, and we're thankful for these little spots of shade that we're in right now. All right, so we've just reached another kind of gate. We're going to cross through this field. Nice view out this way. So here's a different kind of gate. This isn't a kissing gate, it's kind of a latch gate. And it takes a little bit of figuring out how to open it. But what we do is go back this way, and it opens. And we'll go through the gate and go down that path. Okay, so we've reached another gate. It's the kind of gate I went through before, so I don't have to demo the gate, but I wanted to point out the sign that talks about a permissive right-of-way. If a path goes through private land, a path that's an ancient path that's been around for years and years, well, centuries and centuries probably, the owners of the land need to give a right-of-way for the path to continue through their land. So that's what the right-of-way is. So that's why on these paths, oftentimes you have gates that close off farms. You're allowed to cut through the farm, but of course the gate has to be there to keep the animals in. So this one's just showing the path. Actually goes like this, but the owner, I guess, is allowing a shortcut across the field because it says permissive right-of-way. Okay, so we've just climbed up to the top of a hill. It's called Old Winchester Hill, and it's the site of a Iron Age fort. It's supposed to be one of the best Iron Age forts in Britain, and it's on the top of the hill, and it's sort of built up walls. Of course, you can't really see any bit of a fort now, but you could just imagine this is sort of the bowl of the fort here, and I'm standing on what would have been one of the walls of the fort. What awesome location for a fort, because the views out there, you could, well, if it was a really clear day, you could see out to the Isle of Wight. It's a little bit hazy today because it's still warm, but perfect location for a fort. Alright, so here's another way to get over or through a gate, I guess. We're in a fenced-in field, and you can see here there's not actually a gate to open, but there's steps to go over the top of the gate. So I'll go ahead and show you how that works. And then I'm on the other side. So it's the third day of our walk. We've been walking for about an hour now. We stayed down in the outside of a village out in that direction. We had to hike a bit to get back to the trail. So we've already done a lot of work. We haven't been on the trail very long. As you can see, we got another beautiful day. Unbelievable that a day, we could have this many days in England with bright sunshine. So we feel pretty lucky, and I guess we're planning on more views like this as we hike the path today. So we had to stop and take a break because this is the most beautiful scenery we've had so far. We're up on top of Harding Down, and the views are spectacular. Just great looking over the valley here. See the little villages, beautiful wildflowers, the green fields. It's a nice breeze. It's warm because it's in the sun, but the breeze is great. And like I said, this has been top-notch scenery so far. So this is another kind of path we sometimes walk through, and this one's going right through the farmer's field. You can see we've got the crops on both sides, fields way out there, and the farmer's left this right-of-way path for the South Downs Way to pass through the field. So we're going right between two fields of, I don't know what kind of crop that is, some kind of wheat, I guess. Kind of a cloudy day. It's day 4 today. Kind of a cloudy day. This is more the type of day that I expected. So another gate. This gate is similar to the ones we went through before, where it's what we're calling this a stick shift gate. So just pull that way and go. But it's important that these gates close as humans come through, and apparently this one had some problems closing. So the farmer made this ingenious little weight, very heavy on the end of this chain, and it'll pull the door shut in case the walkers are too lazy to do it. Got to keep the cows on this side. Alright, so we just had the path go right through the town. Luckily the cows are more interested in getting some water on a hot day than hikers hiking across their field. There's a gate at that end to keep the cows in the field. At this end, the gate broke, but you can see what they've done is they've put down one of these cow guard things. There's probably an official name for it, and they probably have them out west in America too, but this is another sort of version of a gate, but a gate that's lying down. It's hard for the cows to walk across here, but it's all right for hikers to walk. So we've seen numerous Norman age churches. In fact, it's hard to remember which was which. Those were around 12th century. But today, special treat, we've got a church from the Saxon times. This church is about 900 AD it was built. I don't know too much of the history about it. It's not in my book, but definitely I think will be the oldest site that we'll see on this walk. Pretty cool. Okay, so we're in about the middle of day 6. We've just crossed over the motorway, which is, you might hear that in the background, the roar of the cars. We've reached Pycombe, which is a little village just off the motorway. And this is their church. It's called the Downland Church of the Transfiguration. It's another, I would guess, Norman church from the size of the windows. But what I really wanted to show you was the gate, since I'm showing you gates. So this gate's kind of neat. So if you come over here, first of all, I'll just point this out. It's like a shepherd's crook, made, I think, by the local blacksmith. But look at how this opens. When you pull this way, that side opens and this side opens. So people can go in and out like that. So this is day 7, and it was supposed to start off rainy. We might still get some rain. We were hoping for more cloud cover, but it's not bad. It feels a little bit better today. What I wanted to just speak about right now is how we have to start each day by making a very steep climb up from where our overnight was. When we're up on the villages generally aren't up on the down in the valley, and so if you look in the distance out that way, I don't know how far you could see, but there's a church tower out that way. And that's the town that we stayed in last night. And so we had to start this morning with a 1.5 mile hike, most of it uphill, to reach back up to the downs where we are right now. So it's never an easy start to the day, but at least we're starting that steep uphill with fresh legs and a full stomach. Okay, so here we are, day 8. We're in the little village of Southease, and I just wanted to show you how we start down low in a village and end up having to start the day by walking up. So if you look in the distance there, you see the downs. Maybe even you can make out our path. It's right above where those cows are. So we'll start our day hiking up there. But I think once we get up there, we won't have too many hills today. It's a good thing, day 8. So just a quick video of this Saxon/Norman church in Southease. It's got a distinctive round tower. Round towers from like the 11th century, but the church was actually built in like 960. Very, very cool church. So if you look down the way there, we see some swans just swimming down this little estuary. We're on the last day, we're heading towards the cliffs. But I just wanted to point out that right at this time, it's the time of the royal swan counting. Apparently in the UK, all the swans are owned by the Queen, and once a year, people go around and they count the swans so the Queen knows how many swans she has. So I just wonder if those two have been counted yet. So we're up on a little bit of a ridge here, and if you look out, you can see a chalk horse kind of engraved in the side of the chalky hill. And in this area of England, there are several instances of these chalk figures scraped into the soil. I don't think they're very old, and many of them, they don't really know the origin of them, but it's kind of interesting idea. Countryside artwork. So here it is. It's our first view of those chalky white cliffs. Here they are, Seven Sisters, which are each of these little cliffs going. We just came up over a hill, and this is what we saw, and it was like our master goal for reaching the end of our hike. Of course, we still have about 8 miles to walk, but we know the end's in sight. Great view. So we're up on the cliffs, and you can see them in both directions. If we look north, where we came from, and then looking east to where we're going. Almost as beautiful as a man-made cathedral. Well, we're we're just about there. We came over the hill and look what we see. It's Eastbourne. That's our final destination. So we're almost to 100 miles.